welcome to the Masheleng podcast where money meets the profession. I'm Nelo Mokgotsi, and on today's episode we're discussing personal branding. What is personal branding and how you can actually make money out of personal branding. Le gore tota mo social media re ka itshwara jang. Our guest today is Pako Moshaga. Please check it out.
Thank you and welcome to Masheleng Money Podcast. So today we always bring you guests that are experts on their fields. And in Masheleng we talk about things that can improve your pocket, things that can improve your bank account. So today, Mr. Pako Moshaga will be discussing personal branding and how it can actually help you to increase your value, to increase your money. Mr. Moshaga, thank you so much for joining us in Masheleng Podcast.
It's a pleasure, sir.
Wonderful. So, Mr. Moshaga, before we start, just give our viewers and listeners an idea of who you are and where you come from when it comes to personal branding, really.
All right. So my name is Pako Moshaga. I'm a personal branding consultant. I've been in this field for about 4 years now, and I got into the space after I discovered the power of having a brand in my own life. And I extended it to get into public speaking as well. I'm a public speaking coach as well as a writer, and it's something that I enjoy doing because I believe that we can each improve each other if we're willing to share information. And public speaking is all about how to share that information in an impactful way, that it touches the audience in a special way, and it really leaves a mark.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. So, Mr. Moshaga, getting into it, there's a line which says, if you want to improve your pocket, you have to be the best at what you do, right? So when I think about personal branding, I actually think about that. Often at times we are worried about the amount of money that we earn at work. We are worried about the amount of money that we make as a business. But you find that big businesses, they build big brands. How is it that we want to earn more, but we don't want to increase our value by increasing our brand? I don't know, what is your take on that?
Yeah, so I think often what we do is that we undermine the value of having a personal brand. That for me to give you money as a business, I need to have faith in you as the person first. So you need to meet basics of having a good brand. Presentation, you need to be presentable as a business person. I need to see that, okay, Muto is an actual business person that I can trust and I can give my money to. And second, your character needs to be that of a business person. I need to feel that, okay, Motona knows what they're doing. I know that if I give you my money, you will give me what you say you will actually give me in return. Then third is your speech or the way that you talk and the words that you use as you speak. You need to speak like a business person. You need to have certain levels of etiquette and courtesy in how you speak, that I can tell, okay, Mimotona is actually who they say they are. Yeah.
Wow. I remember during my days at the bank, there used to be this character thing. So every time when credit assesses an application, find the numbers are there. We see the numbers. We have all the models that are being used. But sometimes it boils down to the character. Who is this person? How do they behave? Can we trust them with our money? Can we trust that even when we've given them our money, they will represent us, right, as a client? I look at companies like Depswana. Depswana is very serious about brand identity and protecting the brand. I'm worried about reputational risk all the time. But you find a lot of people, they work for them, they end up losing contract simply because of character and not necessarily because they can't do work. Yeah. So why is it important for, let's speak about an employee first, right? Employees, that we have more employees than employers, so that's for sure. So it's a huge market, right? Sure. But we have a lot of them who are not growing. They're failing to grow in so many different ways. And I would like to assume that one of the things that gets them not to grow, it's really their failure to actually brand themselves well. why is it important, and what are the examples that you can give for someone who is an employee who has maybe failed to grow, or those that have grown significantly in the past because of their brand position?
So what we need to appreciate is that for an employee, opportunities are in the form of either a new job or a promotion.
Yeah.
And either of those are a function of your brand. So let's start with breaking down the brand of an employee. The primary part of it is the value proposition that that person has. There's something that you need to do exceptionally well. You need to specialize as an employee. Either numbers or presentation or writing, whatever it is that you do, you need to be exceptionally good at it. So when you are exceptionally good at it, that's one part now. Then the second part is that you need to have the presentation down right. If you are a junior employee and you want to be promoted to a manager, do you appreciate the skills needed to be a manager? Do you know what those skills are? Do you have those skills? Or what do you need to do to gain those skills? So the character part of it is very important, because you are given a role because people believe that you are able to do this role immediately on the spot. You are able to take it up.
Yeah.
So they need to see the skills already in you. Then the third thing is, again, the presentation point is important, because as someone who is given a senior role in a business, you are a representation of that business.
Yeah.
And so you need to dress the part. You need to appreciate that your outfits to work play a major role in how you are seen.
Yeah.
If I come to work dressed in suits every day for like a month or so, it has an impact on how people see me. My work might be exactly the same. You know, my output might be exactly the same. But because of my presentation, it has an impact on how people see me, what they think of me. Because our minds, they are visual, you know. We look and we judge based on that. So for an employee, you need to appreciate those aspects. Then beyond that, appreciate online branding as well. I think this is where most people tend to miss it. Social media branding plays a big role, because companies have HR policies which cover social media use. So how are you branding yourself online? On Facebook, on Twitter? Are you saying the right things? Are you presenting yourself well? Is it a positive brand, or is it one that's known for making fun of people, roasting people and the likes? Then the last part really on online branding would be on LinkedIn. If you are trying to get a job opportunity elsewhere, you need to be visible online, and you need to present yourself well online. Appreciate how LinkedIn works. The basics of the language that you use on LinkedIn is formal language, it's office language, and the presentation as well online needs to be a formal kind of look, you know. So how come on LinkedIn you see people in suits? If you see someone posting a picture of them, I look casual, you know. Hey, I pervest the t-shirt. They really stand out because they look out of place. So it's important to understand, okay, how does this platform work? What do I need to do to make best use of this platform?
You know, actually, when you're talking about changing how you dress to change people perception of you, I remember as a young graduate, when I started working, I used to like wearing a pair of jeans, and then I'll wear a shirt, you know, tuck it in, put on a belt, and then for me that was formal enough, right? It was good. And after some time, because we were hired as a group of graduates, we were all doing the same role. I think we were about 5 or so. So, you know, there was this boss who had a liking for me. So he called me and said he used to wear very, very nice suits, tailor-made suits. So he called me, he said, look, Seattle, you know, what's your plan? What's your plan? I'm like, you know, it's just to work hard, you know, go up the ranks and stuff, you know. Then he asked me, you know what it takes for you to go up there? People need to start taking you serious. You can't be coming to work wearing jeans and a leather jacket. So I had a leather jacket. So he was like, okay, look, let me help you. Just cut a suit. If you can afford, just have 1 or 2. So he introduced me to one of the tailors that he knew. So I went to the tailor, cut 2 suits. And guess what? Immediately after coming back with 2 suits, the landscape changed. for the first time. You know how in corporate, there are so many bosses, so many class offices around, and you used to pass those offices and nobody called you. Suddenly now I'm passing and somebody says, "Hi, can't do ama?" People are recognizing now.
Exactly,
Now your
yeah.
presence is being recognized.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that happened was most of the guys that I was working with, they started to move away from me slowly, slowly, slowly. They kind of felt like the general feeling that when he's doing this, he's probably promised something. They started feeling like that, and then they were withdrawing. But I didn't realize that I was growing. It meant that I was growing. Maybe they were not pulling back. I was
Yeah.
actually
Going up, yeah, exactly,
I
yeah.
was actually going up. So it's interesting that you mentioned up. You just triggered some memories of how dress can actually change the way that people view you. And unfortunately, that's what people do. So there's an instance of an interview. I want you to touch on an instance of an interview, like how should people prepare for interviews? Because I'm thinking there are different types of roles, but there should be a standard way of trying to do things.
Yeah. So in preparing for job interviews, first thing that you want to understand is the culture of the organization that you're going to. So if you're going to be interviewed in a corporate place,
Yeah.
you want to dress in formal attire, and not just formal attire, but corporate formal,
Yeah.
because corporate formal would then dictate the colors that you'd wear. So you'd wear your navy, your black, your white, your gray, maroon, burgundy, and other dull and dark colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that helps you to ensure that when you get there, you don't look misplaced. And the second thing, dress as if you already have the job. Don't dress based on the level that you're at.
Yeah.
Dress based at the level that you aspire to be at. That's important. Then beyond that, you'd want to be aware of
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
dress to the level that you aspire to be at.
That's
Yeah.
profound. Yeah.
So then beyond that, you want to be aware of etiquette, just basic interview etiquette. Arrive on time, arrive early enough, but not too early.
Yeah.
You don't want to try to be there. Interview etiquette. Arrive on time, arrive early enough, but not too early.
Yeah.
You don't want to try to be there like an
People
hour
start feeling
before.
uncomfortable
Yeah,
now,
well,
like
yeah,
you're
there
there.
an hour before. Guys are still getting ready and they see you there and it's
Yeah.
awkward and stuff like that. So you want to be there early enough
Yeah.
that maybe 15, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
You're going to be there, settle in, have some water and whatever it is, and be comfortable enough so that when you go in, you are calm and you are cool. Then once you're actually in the interview, understand that the purpose of an interview is to showcase yourself.
Yes.
So what we tend to do, and I think our culture plays a part in this, we tend to minimize ourselves in an effort to be polite, and try to just minimize yourself and what you've actually done.
Yeah.
But in an interview, you want to do the opposite. You want to ensure what you bring out your very best. You show all the good things that you've done, and all your achievements, all your strengths, all your skills, everything. It's a chance for you to showcase the value that you are bringing to that company, because interviewers are looking for value, whereas interviewees are looking for growth. So what often happens is that you get there and you're talking different languages. So understand, what is an interviewer looking for? They're looking for, what is this guy bringing to the company that will add growth and value to the company? So the key thing for them is, what is he bringing that we don't already have?
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas we tend to look at what can we get out of this. So align your thoughts and your style to what that other party is looking for.
And already, they know of your certificate. When they called you for an interview, they knew that you've done, a degree in economics. They knew that, right?
Yeah.
And you're not the only one. There are a couple of other guys who've also
100%, yeah.
done a degree in economics. So what you are saying is that the basic thing that they're looking for is the value add. That is why they have called you in.
100%. That's why the first question is often, tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Very simple question, but it trips up a lot of people because it's very vague, it's not specific.
Yes.
So when they say, tell us about yourself, that's your chance to show what is it that you're bringing to the table. what's your value proposition? What makes you different from the other 5 guys that are waiting outside?
Yeah.
You know, and it's not your degree, it's not your certificates, it's your skills,
Yes.
it's your talents, it's your experience, it's your mindset as well. How you are able to analyze things and look at things and come up with answers
Yes.
to challenges. That's what makes you different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I like how you put it, and I wish that most of our people will understand it exactly the way it is. First, the dress has to be appropriate for the event, and then you also need to have appropriate content for the event, right? Which builds your confidence also.
Yeah.
When somebody asks you, how do you know Vusi Tembekwayo? Most people will not talk about his businesses, right? They'll talk about him as a they'll say he's a business mogul, he's an inspirational speaker, because that is how he has branded himself. They'll talk about investments and stuff, but most people don't know the businesses that he's actually running. You talk about your Tony Robbins. You talk about so many big stars that are running successful companies behind the scenes, but how you know them about things that are associated with the businesses, yes, right? But how they've branded themselves, it's just so powerful. So I just wanted to emphasize that, because we are talking about brand positioning of an individual, right? Which can also go into business. And I want us to talk about business when we come back from the break. Guys, we are taking a quick break. Today we are talking about personal branding. We are with Mr. Pako Moshaga. So make sure that you don't change that dial.
Hi, I have a free gift for you. If you want to claim this gift, go to www.masheleng.online/gift. In this gift, you will learn how to become financially free in 5 years or less.
And we are back. If you are just joining us now, we are with Mr. Pako Moshaga. We are discussing personal branding. We are discussing how personal branding can actually help you to elevate your life, to help you elevate your finances and business. Mr. Moshaga, before the break, we were talking about personal branding now going into business. We know that a lot of Botswana are that are so enthusiastic about getting into the field of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of excitement about it right now. There's Forbes 30 under 30, and it's a big thing, really. And when you think about it, I think it's going to help a lot of Botswana. The excitement has been there, but I think it's just going to escalate and escalate. So personal branding when it comes to business, how important is it?
So I think what we need to appreciate is that as a business person, your personal brand is an extension of your business brand. So I know you, I know your business. So you are not a separate entity from the business. I look at you and I think of the business and vice versa. So anything that we do in our personal capacity has an influence on the business. Being that if I carry myself well as an individual and you learn to trust and respect me, then that same trust and respect, you basically transfer it to my business because you say, oh, PK, I know PK. So whatever PK does, I know it's upright, it's solid, And so what we overlook is that the business but that's not the case. So our personal brands either add value to our businesses or they take value away from our businesses. And we tend to take value away mostly through our social medias and our face-to-face interactions as well, because we think that we are separate entities from the business. But as a person who's in the SMME space, you can't separate yourself from the company, because as you market that business, as you pitch on behalf of the business, it's you that we're seeing, you know. So we see you, we see the business. So if you are rude, if you are unkind and stuff, we see the business in the same way, because we say, how can I trust the company? The owner wa teng o itsayana, o itshwara jana, you know, then surely I can't have any faith in this business. Yeah.
Oh, and you know, I've been in the SME, sector for a very, very long time, and you know, I can tell you there's a problem there, because the separation from the individual to the business, it's not understood, right? And you remember, you are a finance expert also. You recall that a lot of people used to fight that. Look, I have a bad credit as an individual, right? But that is not on my business; it's on me. So I'm actually taking this debt now as a business, right? What they fail to understand is that, like what you've been saying, you can't separate the individual from the business, right? If you are the director of the business, you are 100% director of the business. You've got full control of the business accounts and everything that runs in the business. So what we see in you is exactly what we expect to see in your business, because it's the same person, right? If you are dirty, you are not careful with a lot of things. When I get into your office, I expect to see the same things in your office. I might not have seen your office, but I have a picture, right, of your office. So I think these are critical conversations, and a lot of young people out there are trying to brand their businesses, and we see the brands, like we see the nice logos, the nice company profiles, and stuff like that. What is it that you think they should be careful of doing, more especially when it comes to social media, because there's freedom of speech there?
Social media is fun, you know. So I'd say, as a business person, understand that what you post on your personal profile, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever it is that we take that as the position of the business. We take that as an extension of the values of the business. And so you should think twice before you put anything up, and think, is this adding value to my business? Is this making my business look good or bad in front of the world, you know? And is it necessary for me to say this as the founder and the MD of my business? Am I helping it, or am I taking clients away from it? Because I think what we often fall prey to is the trend on Facebook. You know, something trends, we all make jokes about it. You know? But as a business person, you need a level of restraint to say, you know what, I'm a business person. I have something that I'm trying to build. I have a name that I'm trying to protect, and so I can't just go with the wind. You know, if these days I'm going west, I'm going west, tomorrow east. And you can't afford to be like that when it comes to social media.
And I can imagine it's very difficult to do that. When conversations are good and you just want to get in, and, raise your views, it's very difficult to restrain yourself. So what other help do you think, say, because we have to admit, not all of us are that emotionally strong, or we are that emotionally intelligent to deal with certain things or to restrain ourselves. There are certain habits that we've gained over the years, and it's very difficult now to move away from. So if somebody wants to build a brand, how can you, as a brand expert, assist them not to make those mistakes, those social media mistakes, and all of those?
So what I do under my business is that I work with a client to build a brand from nothing. So you're coming in, you don't have any brand,
Yeah.
and you want to build something up. So I have a program that I take clients through.
Mm.
So part of that program involves having what's called values, brand values.
Yeah.
So brand values are basically principles that you as a person believe in, and that you'll use as the pillars to guide your brand. Just like every company has a list of values, integrity and respect and communication and all those things.
Yes.
So similarly, as a person, your brand needs to have a set of principles that you live by.
Yeah.
So that so anything that you post needs to be in line with the principles that you set for yourself. Let's say, as an example, my own principles are honesty, integrity, professionalism, and courtesy.
Yeah.
So anything that I put up online, I need to check, is this aligned to the values that I've set for myself? So that over time I am consistent. And if someone was to describe me and they've never met me in person, they've only seen my stuff on Facebook, on YouTube and stuff, they can give a description which is in line with those principles. Yes, so that's why as a brand you need to have a set of principles that you live by. Otherwise you risk having a brand that is very random. Because opportunities that you get also need to be aligned to your values and your principles.
Exactly.
So if I'm here, I'm a brand, and I get an opportunity, I need to check, is this in line with the vision that I'm trying to build? Do I want to be associated with this organizer or with this name? So that's a fundamental step that I take my clients through, that for online interactions, even face-to-face interactions, you need to be the same person, whether you're online or offline. To use your example, Vusi earlier on.
Yes.
Most of us have never met Vusi, or maybe we've seen him live, but we've never sat down and talked with him. But our description of him would be fairly much similar. Wise, kind, funny, and all those
intelligent
things. Exactly. Because we see how he is online, and he is consistent, and it's not by chance that he is that way, because he has decided that he wants to build a certain type of brand which has these values in place.
Wow. Wow. That's profound. So, and we see a lot of inconsistencies. Sometimes we see them even in corporates, where we've always known this brand to be doing things in a certain way, or to be associated with certain people. And then later on now, this was a brand which used to call people like PK, people like Vusi to come and do this, to be the face of the brand. And suddenly now they have changed. They've gotten someone who's a clown, because of the numbers, because I think we are struggling to understand consistency over a period of time as an investment, right? We look at quick wins. It's similar to everyone who wants to get into Forex and digital currencies and all of those. All of them are looking for quick wins. The products themselves, they've been working for so many years, but it's how you do them or your expectations that are not aligned. So we see even big brands now, if tomorrow you make a joke and you have 300,000 followers on that day, tomorrow you see a lot of big brands that we've known to be consistent with how they do things, now changing and saying we need to be associated with this person. And what you are saying, considering the risks attached with doing such a thing, is that that might not be the person who might see you through your values, your mission and all of those things, because this is a person who did something and then overnight they had followers, but this is not a consistent person. This is a person that tomorrow they might tarnish your brand. I don't know if you've done relationship type of counseling when it comes to brand positioning, because I think it's a very interesting area. Was it last month I met one gentleman, and an old guy. He was working for government, and I looked at him once and then I was like, so this guy is the leader here, he was wearing this big shirt, malala o tsamaya ko godimo kwa, and then tie o kare mo kgamile, wa bona, o apere baki e blue, and then o apere borokgwe bo red, kore ke ne ke sa tlhaloganya gore go diragalang. And then I was just thinking, just looking at him, before he even spoke, ne ke setse ke concludile gore ka tswa e le motho o ntseng yang. And surprisingly, when he started speaking, that's exactly the type of person that I found. And then I was just thinking, I'm missing all this. So I get what is the importance of building a certain brand for yourself, being or to manage a family, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's not something that I've done, but what I'd say is your personal brand doesn't apply only to the office or to business, but also on a social level as well as a personal brand. We all have that uncle or that cousin who we were like and things like that, and that's his brand, and other relatives have also different. There's the rich auntie as well. So everyone has a certain brand in the family. So what we need to be mindful of is that just like our brand affects us in the workplace and in business, even on a social level, it affects how our partners see us, how our kids see us, how our relatives see us as well. And these things will affect the type of decisions that are made and where we are involved or where we are not involved based on the type of brands that we have. So if you build a brand that is known for being a brand of integrity, of respect, and just a solid brand, you'd find that you are given honor and respect in the family because of how you carry yourself. And you carry yourself through those basics: presentation, character, and your speech. You see? So we need to be mindful of our interactions, whether it's in the home or outside the home, that what is this saying about me? If I'm dressed like this, what does it say about my character? If I'm talking like this in public or even just at home, in private, what does it say about my character?
Someone once said, you can't have two completely varying personalities for at work, and then you have a totally different one at home, and then sometimes you have a totally different one when you are with your friends. They say that you have one dominant personality within you, and any other you'd be fake in those instances. If you are so formal at work, so consistent, you know how to manage your time well, you like to get things done and all of those things. And then when you are at work, you are easy, never formal, go itirelwa hela, yo mongwe ta ka 10, o mongwe ta ka 11, o mongwe o jela mo roomong, yo mongwe o ja mo tafoleng, all of those things. It's either you are that person at work or you are that person at home, right? So what you are saying is that there has to be consistency between ka ha e leng gore o itshwara ka teng ko tirong le ka ha e leng gore o itshwara ka teng ko lapeng, because malatsing a ebile kana go borai go tsewa di-video bogologolo no ka itshwarelwa a e le gore ko tirong gongwe no le motho e leng gore o formal o dira dilo sentle ko lapeng o sa di dire sentle, a gona po ka go bona. But malatsing ana your kids will be they'll be capturing you o itebetse o thapetswe, and then ba dira phoso eto bone mo di WhatsApp groupung o ithelele gore WhatsApp ya tsena hela, go motho a itilite ka bona go gore nya ke ngwana a ke re o ithela tsene, and then it's all over the place, and then now you are known as this different person. Wow. So the reason why we called you here, Mr. Moshaga, our concern it's mostly around wealth creation. And we speak about wealth creation, and we like to look at different ways of how people can create wealth. we have observed that it is not just an issue of how to manage your money, right? There are so many things that come into it. There's the discipline side of it, there's the character side of it, there's the the branding side of it, which also falls within the others that I have mentioned, and that is why we say, look, if we are going to build people, if we are going to build people who are capable of building wealth, then they need to hear conversations like this one, where they start with themselves, because everything starts from within, right? Build your values, right? What are your levels, right? What are things that you can tolerate and things that you can't tolerate, right? Because when you do that, it's easy to know who to associate with. If you don't know that, then you are probably going to associate with anyone. Even when you are running a business, tomorrow you'll be doing business with A, tomorrow you're doing business with Z, and they're totally different people. There's none of that consistency that you were speaking about. So, Mr. Moshaga, if people want to contact you, ba batla go itse thata ka di-service tse e leng gore wa di dira, various things. Maybe when they are listening to this conversation now, they are thinking, or no, maybe you are an influencer. You just speak on social media and stuff like that. They want to get a hold of you and also know more of what you do. Bakadiraja.
All right. Thanks, sir. So if people want to get a hold of me, they can get a hold of me via Facebook, via LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube as well. That's Pako Moshaga on all these platforms. And on my mobile, it's 75431782. I provide keynote talks to staff, to organizations, and to different groups, really. So please feel free, get in touch on those platforms, and we can talk from there.
Yes, Mr. Moshaga, we always appreciate you visiting us. We are probably going to call you again. We can never have enough of these conversations. Improve our businesses will not improve because our business is highly dependent on people who have good brands, on people who are ethical, on people who are honest, and people who really want to build a life for themselves. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And in case you want to engage with us, please call us at 3950026, 3950026. See you on the next episode.
Hi, I have a free gift for you. If you want to claim this gift, go to www.masheleng.online/gift. In this gift, you will learn how to become financially free in 5 years or less.